we're so contemporary. We're down in the on the outskirts. We say one more next song. Oh, one more next song. Oh, I said one more next song. Oh, I heard the angels. Put your hands together and say, it's just one more next song. Oh, one more next song. Oh, I heard they were singing to me, Lord. They were they were all around my bed, Lord. They were all around my bed. Oh, they were all around my bed. Oh, I heard the angels. You know what? They were singing good news, Lord. They were singing good news. I know they were singing good news. Oh, I heard the angels. And they said, you know, I won't have to cry no more, Lord. I won't have to cry no more. Oh, you know that I won't have to cry no more. Oh, yes, sir. Can't nobody do this like Georgia. Can we just do it one more time? What did you hear? What did you hear? I heard the angels sing. For a needed time. The term a needed word for a needed time may not be grammatically correct. But in the Baptist era that I grew up in, they used to have a song that said, mothers, bring your daughters. Fathers, bring your sons. And tell everybody it's a needed time. Life has its ups and downs, upheavals, disappointments, good days, bad days. As they say in world terms, that sometimes you feel like a nut. And sometimes, y'all know what I'm talking about. But at some point, we must understand that the antidote for life's complications, its crisis. Actually, Oprah don't have the answer. Dr. Phil don't have the answer. Jerry Springer certainly don't. Maury definitely don't. Ellen DeGeneres, thank you for helping me call the roll. When you look at her lifestyle, it's proven that she don't have the answer. But the answer is in the Word of God. We're too messed up to come to church on Sunday and hear a bunch of fairy tales, a bunch of stories, nursery rhymes. When we have people sitting in the pews that are in pain, that are despondent, that are dismayed, and they struggled from one Sunday to the next because they needed to hear a word from the Lord. And I wonder this afternoon, and I promise I'm not going to be but a few minutes, but I wonder when one is despondent, troubled, in a crisis, grieved, frustrated with the cares of life, down in the dumps, in the midst of turmoil, where else could you get a word from but from the Lord? You got to understand that words carry power. Words can have effect on your life. And that's why you have to be careful who speaks over your life. You have to be careful who talks to God on behalf of your life. Because everybody that's jumping and shouting, preaching and praying don't necessarily know God. The question was asked in Jeremiah, is there word from the Lord? And I would imagine 15 years later, you've discovered that there has to be a word, because the same servant is in the same place, and therefore you're being nurtured. You know, because you have some people that just, they go to church, but, and I was talking about this morning at the church, I've discovered that it's too much church attitude and not enough Christianity. We got more of the world sitting up in the church, and we have not much of the church out in the world. And when the Lord speaks, your life got to align itself with His word. The era and time in which we live, we need somebody that can speak to us as Paul did Timothy. He says, now I want you to understand the makeup of the new church. Eventually, you'll have to understand that in the last days, perilous times, they shall come. And after he gives Timothy a brief summarization of this, he says to him, you'll see people even in the pulpit, singing on the choir, ushering on the door, counting your money. They have a form of godliness, but denying the power. Therefore, that group turn away from it. When you look at people life, circumstances, sometimes it can push you over the edge. But if we hear one word from the Lord, everything will begin to line up. Well, so that you won't leave here and say that I can't preach. Let's look at the text. The Bible talks about this same comparison, even in the 8th chapter of Matthew. And it talks about a servant who was dead, diseased, and dying. And I want us to look here at the particular characters in the text. First of all, we see the centurion. Secondly, we see the servant. And lastly, we see the Christ. Now, the Bible talks about the text and it shares in regards to a centurion's faith. Notice here, it was not a family member. It was not somebody that was real close to him, but it was a servant. He was not caught up in himself or his immediate needs. He wasn't caught up in his wants and desires, but he was standing proxy for somebody else. I don't know if you remember in the old church, if there was somebody that had an issue and they were not strong enough in God to come up and talk about it themselves or ask for prayer for it themselves, somebody would come up and stand in the gap for them. But we're living in a day and time now where people are so caught up in their titles. I wish I had somebody in here. Until people cannot hear the testimony of God, how God lifted them up. I wish I had a church here. How God changed their lives. This man, he had some interesting things happening between he and the servant. I looked at this text, and when I looked at it, Bishop, I said, it's amazing how this man, even though he was prestigious, he was popular, but he didn't have no power. Oh, don't that sound like the church today? We got so many people that have prestige and so many people that are popular, so many people that's fighting for a position, but I don't care if I don't never be prestigious. I don't care if I never be popular. Let me show up with some power and lives will change. You got to understand that titles don't impress God. I don't get upset when somebody walk up to me and say, what's your name? Oh, UJD means. I don't say, I'm the bishop. You need to be calling me the bishop, because let me tell you something. It ain't who you are in the public's eyes. It's what you're like between you and God. And if you don't have no lifestyle with God, all you got is just a title. That's one of the things that need to happen in the church. It ain't no disrespect to folk, but we need to learn how to drop some of these titles, because, you know, we feel like we can't do nothing unless somebody's calling our name. We can't do nothing unless somebody giving us credit for something. But the thing with us, we get the credit and forget to give God the glory. We're in this day and time now where we got who's who in Christianity. And after finding out who's who, you find out the ones that's on the front line, the majority of the time, they ain't got no faith. If you don't believe it, you remember when the man that had the lunatic boy, you know, they titled him in the scripture as the lunatic boy. But Bishop, I discovered something. It wasn't the boy that was the lunatic. It was the disciples. I know I just messed up right there. You know, because first of all, you can't be a disciple without having discipline. I'm trying to rush through the message, but Y'all making me want to stop right there and talk about some of that. You know, we got a whole lot of folk that claim to be disciples, but they don't know how to discipline their own life. You get mad and leave the church. They ain't respecting me for my title. They ain't respecting me for my anointing. If you was anointed, you ain't got to walk around tooting your own horn. When you show up, the room ought to change. When you step in the room, somebody say, something that happened up in here. God's anointing is present. I wish you would just shout out, I want power. Do like the old church, just lift your hand and say, power, Lord. Yeah. Let me deal with the text. Let me deal with the text real quick, and I promise I'm going back. I looked at the text, and the desire of favor by the centurion. He wanted Jesus to visit his home and heal his servant. And the Lord, he agrees to do it. He said, all right, you want me to come to your house? Let's go. You really don't know I'm already there. But if you just want the personification, of my presence, I'll go up there with you. And he knew he was big publicly. But he knew he was too small privately. Can I say that again? He knew he was big publicly. Everybody thought he had it going on, just like some of your cousins. I ain't talking about y'all, I'm talking about, the folk that didn't come to church this afternoon. They look like they got it going on, while they up in the church. And then as soon as something breaks out bad in their lives, you find out who got the power and who don't have the power. Because if Pastor and First Lady go on vacation and they can't find them, I don't know where they at. They ought to be somewhere where they can get a prayer through. What's wrong with the last 52 sermons you heard? You ought to have a word on the inside of you. If I can't get Roy Thomas, I can drop on my knees and talk to the Lord for myself. He knew he was. Am I doing all right? He knew he was big publicly, but too small privately for Jesus to come to his house. He knew he wasn't worthy. Oh yeah. Some of us, we come in church walking like a Mati kitten, stepping on a satin rug. We just act like and look like we got it all together. But down on the inside, the Lord is saying, now this is the day you ought to praise me. Because if you didn't have no issues, what you doing up in here? If you ain't have no problems, what you doing up in here? If you didn't have no struggles, what are you doing up in here? And since you feel like I'm not worthy to come to your house, then you ought to press your way and come to my house. I'm almost through. What others think, this is the catch. What others think versus what you know about yourself. We sit down and pull out the pedigree on everybody else. We talk about who been sleeping with who and who been running with who been, I don't know where that came from. We pull out the pedigree on everybody else, but you don't never talk about what you do and who you do it with. Oh my God. I'm sick and tired of this group in the church that's always talking about, well, they did me wrong. They hurt my feelings. They stepped on me. You done some stuff to folk too, but you ought to thank God it's the blood that's covering your sins. So when you look at what others think versus what you know about yourself. Some of us know some stuff about ourselves. And we get to speaking in tongues when we think he come out Sunday. Hold on, my son. We start speaking in tongues because that's the part you don't even want Reverend to know about. Because if he really knew that, you would have to get your keys, your purse, your children, the rest of your family, and get off the parking lot. The man knew he was not worthy. Jesus. I'm trying to move on. But he knew he wasn't hitting on two dead flies. Come on, kid. Now, and guess what? We really know that about ourselves too. You know, when we get finished, sometimes I come to church and man, when I get finished, I get in the car and I say, thank you, Jesus. You let me come in the door today. Thank you, Jesus. You let me make it to the pulpit today. Because guess what? Guess what? Now, before you get happy about that, guess what? Sometimes we sit up in church and we really get bound up because some of us got the wrong folk praying for us. Yeah, you know, just because they come in early for church, you know, that don't mean they're supposed to be your prayer partner. You know, if some folk just want to find out what's going on in your life, and then when and child, let me tell you, the group you don't tell nothing. The one that say, honey, you can tell me whatever. It's between the, honey, you already know. I got a call, I got to run to the house. I got an emergency, because you don't know. The man. Let me get back to the text. Man, he says, Lord, I know what's going on with me. I'm the one that led them into the new synagogue. I'm the one that orchestrated the vision for it. But God, if you and I can talk, it's really some stuff that's happening. I know don't nobody know but you and I. And when you look at 15 years later, you might look like everything is happy right now. But from year 1 to 15, there's been times when Moses could have showed up with your leader. When the Lord told him to speak to the rock. And he gets mad and he just he said, Lord, I'm sorry. That was really for that, trustee. That was really for that because this is the pastor's appreciation. Well, I guess I can put this in for the pastors. You've got some folk in the church. If they can't run nothing else, they'll try to come to church and run the church. Oh, Lord, mercy. I know I just overstepped my boundaries, but I promise I'm going all the way in it now. Listen, I've discovered generally, and I love y'all women. I love y'all. But women, they can be so temperamental. It's generally, I ain't scared to say it. My wife is definitely a woman, so, I didn't come to make no friends. I just came to deliver your mail. Women, they keep up all the jealousy. You can't sing a song today and then Mildred through next Sunday and sing, and they give her credit. Because you turned the church out last Sunday. Now Mildred turned it out this Sunday. They ain't saying nothing else about what you did last Sunday. I don't know who Mildred thinks she is. She thinks she all that. No, Mildred might not, but since you do, thank you. Well, all right. Now the brothers. We don't generally have problems with men in church unless they can't run their house. I'm trying to show you exactly what happened in the scripture. You don't have problems with men. First of all, if they go to their job and try to run it, unless they are the CEO and the HNIC, Mr. Charlie gonna tell you, well, listen, you know what? I'll tell you what, buddy. You take your ideas, and you know, it was good having you with the company. Boy, you're wonderful to me, but we'll meet again. Can't run nothing up at the house. So now you get this win in your job, and now you come and try to scare the preacher. This us church. We was here when you got here. That's why I had to start my own church.
All right.
Because I'm not as temperate. My daddy told me one day, y'all know my daddy. He told me one day, he said, you know what, son? He said, let me tell you, I want you to just, be a little more, because you don't have a problem with telling people what's on your mind. I said, well, okay. Thank you, Daddy. But I got a whole boldness about me.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I ain't scared to tell you what I'm thinking. I ain't scared to tell you how I feel. And too many good pastors have lost churches because some deacons have come in title drunk. I'm over the board. And pull your pants down, go on back to the house, sit down and just cool out. It's going to be all right. Whatever you're dealing with, it's going to pass over. You ain't got to get winning your job and come to church and try to scare everybody because you going through. What you got to do, you got to have somebody that know that you're dealing with an issue with yourself and tell God on your behalf, look, I got a friend. They don't have the faith that I have, even though they're running things. And what I need to happen right through here, God, I need you to work on their behalf. That's what happened in the text. A centurion was a commander of 100 men in the Roman army. However, the centurion's servant was so dear to him because he was the master. And whenever you are a master and you discover you don't have all the power, you need to be slated as the mister.
Well, all right.
You'll catch that in a minute. The servant was so dear to him. He was sick. He was ready to die. Apparently, the servant had been faithful. The servant had been diligent. But when the ultimate master saw his love, he showed his love. And in reality, it had nothing to do with the centurion's plea, nor that of the faith of the elders of the Jews, but it was only because of his faith. There are three matters in this text that I'm through. First of all, what did he request of Jesus? He sent some Jewish elders to Jesus. He said, what I need you to do is go and talk on my behalf. And listen, he didn't really have to coerce them because they watched his lifestyle. It's in the Word. They watched his lifestyle, and all of a sudden they went to Jesus. And they said, Master, we need you to come and heal this lady. My question is, what is your petition? If it's not you, then there ought to be somebody that you know that needs Jesus. You know, I remember, when I was a little boy, you know, the church is contemporary now, and they don't sing this no more. They say, our old songs don't make no sense. But they used to say, it's not my mother. It's not my father. It's not my sister. It's not my brother, but, oh, I just wanted to make sure y'all know. But it's me, oh Lord. And it reminds me of, what Paul said in the 15th chapter of Romans. He says, we then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. And I discovered that whenever you sing a request to Jesus, I don't care how busy he is. Anybody know he'll come and see about you? Yes. Then the second thing was he started revealing to Jesus. He tells Jesus, he says, you know what? I think I'm having a good day today. He said, you know what, Jesus? I got a situation at my house. And all I need you to do, y'all come on and ride if y'all gonna ride, is just speak one word. And if you speak the word, my servant will be healed. So here it was. Jesus had the power. Just hit me and get back off me. He had the power to speak, and all types of miracles and demonstrations would take place. But then after he revealed it to Jesus, what happened was Jesus says, he says, let me tell you something. I ain't never seen nobody that had faith just like this. I ain't never seen nobody that will stand in the gap for somebody else. And then all of a sudden, Jesus said, just be healed. And I'm wondering this evening, is it anybody here that need a word from the Lord? I'm wondering right now, is it anybody here that needs Jesus to step in to your situation? I want to know, is it anybody here that's looking for a touch from the Lord? All I need is one touch from the Lord. Is it anybody here that really need a touch? Can you lift your hand and say, Jesus, touch me right now? And I wish you wouldn't be jealous of your neighbor, but just touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, whenever the Lord touches me, he's going to turn around and do it for you. And I want to know right now, do you know he will? I said, do you know he will? Say yes. Can you say yes? Yes. Yes. He will. Touch you. I said, won't he touch you? I said, won't he touch you? You don't need the woman. meet the Hebrew boys with their testimony. But I want to know right now, is there anybody here that can think about one thing that the Lord had to heal you from, that the Lord had to deliver you from? Why don't you hug somebody and tell them, have faith in the Lord, have faith in the Lord. Have you any rivers that seems uncrossable? Have you any mountain that you can't turn through? God, he specializes. Won't he do it? I said, won't he do it? I said, won't he do it? I want to know, do you know he will? Can you say yeah? Yes, you will. The same Jesus that came by and healed this boy, this man's servant. He said, I'm worthy enough. I can come to your house. And I don't care what people say. Your house may be just as jacked up, but always have room enough for Jesus come in your house. And when he come in, anybody know he'll make a difference? I said, when he come in, anybody know he'll make a difference? They used to have a song. You might not be old enough to remember it. You can remember it. But all y'all can put it together when y'all meet each other between the young and the old. Give me a C natural.